Get the money, honey. Get the money, honey. Get the money, honey. Get the money. Happy Tuesday. Hey, how you doing? How's everyone? You know, we are in fall, so I am so excited. This is one of my favorite times of the year, the fall and the winter. I know a lot of people don't like it cold, but I do. I love cold weather. My house is cold, okay? So we don't turn the heat on. Excuse me, we don't turn the heat on until like it got to be like down to 30 degrees before we turn the heat on. So yeah, when you come over here, you got to have, you know, I got plenty of beautiful blankets for people to wrap up in. But anyway, so today I'm going to be talking about number 5, part 5 on building your SBA business plan so that you could get funded anywhere. So come on, let's go ahead and let's get to work, okay? So the last week we talked about your marketing strategy, your financial strategy, and sales and marketing strategy. Actually, sales and marketing strategy. That's what we spoke about yesterday. I had to go look at my last week. So this week, this is the part 2 to that, because it is such a vast amount of information that you need to put on, because when you're doing a business plan, like I said, I think in the beginning, it's not just to give you a directive on where you're going as far as your business is concerned, but also what the investors are trying to figure out where you're going and how you're going to get there. So they want to know as well, okay? So we're going to talk about today, I'm going to talk to you about your pricing strategy, payment options, how you're going to go about that. And then we're going to also talk about how to generate funding and startup capital for your business, which is, we're getting to the heart of everything. Now, before I get started, I did see a lot of comments in there, and I have like 100 and something subscribers. I first want to tell you thank you so much for subscribing to my YouTube channel. And I want to be able to gift you, because we're coming to the end of the business plan segment, I want to be able to gift you my ebook. It's a free ebook. So I know you may not want to put your email address in the comments below, but if you can go to, I'm going to tell you where you can go to. If you can go to info@Christina, and I'm going to spell it for you, CHRISTINAL, the letter L, Turner.com. Send me an email and say that you are my subscriber, or you can send it to C Turner Tax Services at info@C Turner Tax Services. That's with the S, not a Z. And you can let me know that you became a subscriber, and because I know how many subscribers I have, and I will be glad. Hear me, I would be so happy to send you my ebook on how to get business credit, because I'm going to break that down as well. And because after this month of September, I'm not going to be offering the free ebook. So let me tell you something. If you know other people that need that's in business, tell them to come on over and subscribe so they can get that ebook as well. They can get it from me, and then also other business tips that I will be forwarding in the email. No, I'm not going to bomb you with a whole bunch of sales. I kind of like, I really don't like that either. When you sign up for information, people are constantly bombarding you with stuff. I don't do that. So yes, your email is safe with me. All right, so let's get to work in regard to our sales and marketing strategy. And the first thing you want to have is a pricing strategy. Now, this is so, I think Adrienne talked about that in, I think, video number 3, when she spoke about pricing in regard to what do you feel that you're worth, right? So your pricing strategy. I agree in some retrospect, but it all depends on if you don't have a job right now. right? So if you are out of work and you decided to start your own business, one of the things that I remember, one of the things that I did when I started business 26 years ago is that I built my pricing strategy according to what I needed to make my house sustainable. Okay, so I know, I mean, and I'm not talking about some way off park ballpark number, and I do agree with her when she said, you don't want some number. If you were making $50,000 a year, not to say that you can't, but if you weren't do that, I wouldn't be trying to overprice people. You got to price the value on your business. Like, is this something that, are you an expert at what it is that you do? Like, how long have you been doing this particular thing? So you want to be able to do a pricing strategy that's not only that's comparable to what you need. Hear me what I say, because we don't want to do business and you go broke. That's not the purpose of becoming an entrepreneur. The purpose of you becoming an entrepreneur is for you to be self-sufficient, for you to help other people, and to provide a need that no one else is providing, right? Okay, so your pricing strategy is also going to be competitive. So you want to make sure, let's say for instance, if your rent or your mortgage was $1,500, $1,300, however much your mortgage was, and you got to factor in your license and the gas and food and all that stuff, and you have kids and you're used to having a certain amount of money that's coming in, that's going to be part of your pricing strategy. Okay, so excuse me, I'm so sorry. So make sure that don't go overboard, and then you want to also make sure that you put in your pricing strategy according to the products. Like, say for instance, if you're into makeup, or if you're or like I said, nails, and if you have any overhead because you have to pay rent of your building, you need to put that all in together to come up with a pricing strategy, and then look at your competitor and see how either you're matching and you may be a little bit over because of your level of experience. Because I know a lot of people, when I tell people, people ask me, well, how much you charge, and the lowest I can go is a certain number, and I tell people that up front. I don't want to waste any time because I'm an expert at what I do. Okay, so depending on your level of how long you've been in this, how proficient, that's the word that wanted to come out, how proficient you've been in the business that you are going to be having, is also going to take in a factor. So you're going to take in the factor of how much money you're going to need to run your house, to run your business, any products, and the time, and then your level of expertise. Those are some key elements that you need for your business. Okay, now let's say for instance, and remember in the last video I talked about packages and stuff like that. So I know as an event planner, a lot of event planners have packages where they combine everything, so they have payment options. Like for me, for instance, if I'm going to do a major service for a client, let's say that I'm going to do a room transformation, and it's according to what can a client afford to pay according to my price point, not according to the client's price point, but according to my price point. So let's say for instance, I'm going to do a room transformation, and the cost of the room transformation, we're talking about the cost, we're not even talking about my fee, right? Let's say the cost of the room transformation is going to be $35,000, right? And then my fee, my time, my level of expertise is going to be, let's say $15,000, like $10,000 to $15,000. So let's say my client at that time don't want to pay it all at one time. Now I have had clients that have literally written me out $30,000 checks and $20,000 and so on and so on and so on. But let's say they don't want to pay it all at once, okay? And so what we do, we create a payment schedule. So any type of services, and I'm not talking about like if you're doing hair, because we know that service, I know when I go to my hairstylist, as soon as you get in the chair, as soon as you get out, you gotta pay right away. That is not a payment plan, okay? But payment, you could create a payment schedule for your clients if you have like a big ticket item. And I won't use like the term layaway, because layaway means that you put it in a particular you put something away and then you don't get it until you pay it all off. But what I'm speaking about is that you give your client a payment schedule that they'll follow, and then you make sure that you have that also in contracts, in which we're going to talk about that too, about your contracts in the next video, okay? So what are some of the payment options that you can use for that, so they can make payments on time, so that they don't have to constantly talk to you, that you could keep a record of their payments, that you're going to be getting an alarm on there. You can use PayPal. PayPal is really, really good. You could have an automatic withdrawal system that you can do an ACH on their accounts. You can use Google Wallet, but you can set up, I think, Honey Books. You can set up payment schedules that will send them a reminder so that you can get paid for the work that they hired you for, okay? So another thing too that you want to talk about is, that I want to talk about with you, is also the publicity and advertising strategy. And I think we spoke about that as well, where you can have it on Twitter, to YouTube, Google, and sometimes you can even put in there that you'll offer a payment schedule on your website. Like, that's available. Like, if you are offering a package and you can talk to them, if you talk to them, you can have it like in fine print. You know, sometimes people read fine print, I read fine print, that they'll be able to make payments, and that's between you and your client, how it's going to be paid, and it's between you and your client if they miss a payment and how you're going to handle that. And we can talk about that, like I said, in another video where I talk about having contracts with your clients, okay? Okay, so how are you going to generate funding for your business? Now that you done put all of these components together, you have everything that I have discussed, what goes inside of a business plan. And I also have business templates if anybody want them, where you can use business template, or you could go on Google, use it, or, you know, I write business plan as well. It's up to you. But you definitely want to be able to make sure that you create a business plan that is going to be a SBA bona fide, and normally any funding agency will use the SBA formatted business plan. Okay, so you want to be able to tell your investor or funding source that, you know, how are you going to look for capital? Are you going to tell them that you're going to get a loan from the bank? Are you going to tell them in your business plan you're going to be using your own personal capital? Are you going to do where they have like crowdfunding? Are you going to be able to do that? Because there's so many different ways of funding your business at the end of the day, but you must have the foundation. And since this is the last video of building your business plan, and this is the first thing that you need to have in order to, in order to get funding. So I really appreciate you for watching my first series on building a business plan that's SBA bona fide, so that you could get funding for it. I really appreciate your time, and also for subscribing. And again, please subscribe and share this video. I will see you next Tuesday. Have a great week. I love you.